Okay, let's just say, way better show than last week. I said out here last week and said, there wasn't much that I disliked, but when I went back and watched the show, I gotta be honest, it was not that great. This show, though, was awesome. Like, that ending was, I always talk about that end, but that was awesome, dude. Conan said, "We're serious like a late period," and I was like, what the fuck was that? That was pretty funny. But started off the show with El Patron coming out, basically talking about how this is his house, which I thought was pretty funny. If you don't know why that's funny, you've been living under a rock. Just saying. But EC3 pretty much comes out and says, well, you don't just come in here on your second day and demand a world title. You have to earn it. And I'm sorry, not Del Rio, I'm going to try to get that right. Patron says, basically, no. And EC3 asked him, I thought he had big balls or big testicles or whatever he said. And fucking Del Rio comes back in and says, I want to face Bobby Lashley, not the bitch. And he just kept getting in his face saying, I don't want to face the bitch. And, well, EC3, being EC3, EC3 attacks him. And they get separated finally by security guards. What my favorite part is when EC3 is just standing there like, yeah, like that was good because it made sense because he wasn't gonna fight him. EC3 had to figure out a way to get him to fight him, and he did because he attacked him, and then they just that was good stuff. So they made it official, and we got the match. That was pretty cool. So our first match was Laredo Kid and Garza Jr. From the Crash promotion. They have that deal with the Crash in Mexico, Noah in Japan, and that's pretty good because it adds depth to the tag team division like it did tonight. And both these guys could easily play into the X division. And I think Garza, if you really work him in as a star here, could have a chance to become big time because that dude was impressive. So was Laredo Kid, but I just kind of see him as an X Division star. So the match between Laredo Kid and Hector Garza Jr., or I don't think it was Hector Garza. I really did not understand what the hell Josh Matthews said his name was. It was Eli Drake and Tyrus versus the Crash guys. It was an okay match. It was a little long for some reason. I don't know. Just a random match, really just to showcase Laredo Kid and Garza Jr. It was, like I said, it was solid. It was pretty cool. Eli Drake can go that reverse Lord Slam or whatever Pope said that move is, when Eli Drake goes for like a press slam but fucking just launches him back. I love that move. But Eli Drake looked great in this match, but he didn't get the win again. Laredo Kid and Garza Jr. pick up the victory after Drake was trying to go for a tag, and slow as Tyrus couldn't get up there and get the tag basically. And I was pissed. That's the one thing I did not like about this show. We need to see Eli Drake get victories. What is the point of him lose, lost? The dude can't get a win. When is Eli Drake going to get a win and be taken serious and just pushed to the fucking moon? This dude is your best talker in the company. I mean, it's hard to say he's better than EC3, but damn it, he is. He's good in the ring. I mean, no arguments there for me. Come on now. That pissed me off. Like, everything else about the show I was fine with, but that really just was like, why? Was why? So they showed Eddie Edwards trying, what can he do to make an impact. Then they go to pretty much the highlights of Moose, James Storm, and Eddie in Japan, and for Pro Wrestling Noah and the Great Voyage show. I thought it was pretty cool. They actually showed it on their YouTube channel, so I already saw it really. But we come back and Casey Quinn is already in the ring. And here comes Brandy Rhodes. So before the match can even get started, here comes Cody Rhodes down with his Next Gen Championship. And man, was this part funny. Okay, so he says, you're not going to wrestle. I'm tired of this company pimping out the Rhodes name. And he goes over and says, "Okay, I'm sorry. I'll give you $45. That's like 20 more than what they would pay you here." I fucking died. Oh my god, that was pretty. And another part was hilarious when he told Earl to hold his title, and then when he finally took it back from him, he was like, "What are you doing? Give it back." I loved that whole thing. And then Cody, the audience, you all are just too sweet because he is Japan. Moose in Japan, he's in Japan. I'm loving this. Cody Rhodes as a heel is amazing. So he basically, takes Brandy to the back. Brandy can't have the match against Casey Quinn. So they cut the commercials, they come back, and boom, Rosemary is beating her ass. Hits her with the Red Wedding, and we cut back to the table, and then we cut back, and paramedics are out in the ring helping Quinn to the back. So I thought it was good. They didn't really get her into the show last week, besides the Decay taking the title. So I think it was an obvious choice to put her on the show this week. They haven't really done much with the women's division so far in these first two episodes. We had Sienna versus, what was her name? Rachel Ellering, but it didn't do anything for the title picture. So I think it was good to have Rosemary come out here and just make her presence known in this new era. So, I mean, I think it was much needed. So, after that whole attack by Rosemary, what I thought was going to be the main event, turns out it was in the middle of the show. It was EC3 versus Patron in the middle of the show. Man, this match. After this match, there's no doubt in my mind that either at the end of these taping periods, like the end of these shows that they taped last week or so, either EC3 is going to be heel then, or it's going to be at the beginning or the end of the next tapings, the next batch of tapings they have. EC3 is going to be heel. Because, the matches are going on. He's acting kind of like a douche, like he was when he was a heel, which is always a great job. But, so basically he launches Patron out of the ring and takes him over and puts a piece of paper in Patron's mouth and just boom, 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 banging his head off the announce table with a piece of paper stuck in his mouth, which I thought was pretty funny. And then he takes Patron back in the ring and he grabs a steel chair, and I'm like, oh shit, he's about to hit him. He gives it a second thought and throws the chair out. But that whole time, Patron was playing possum. Gets up, hits him with that arm breaker, and then hits him with a super kick right to the damn face. Turns it around, cross arm breaker, and that's the first person to ever make EC3 tap. After the match, Patron basically says stop the music because he's not going to leave there without checking his hand. He says that was one of his best matches ever. I don't know about that, but this was a pretty good match. Since Patron's came in, he's had two really good matches with Bobby Lashley, now EC3. I'm excited to see where it goes from here. And I'm excited to see if EC3 does actually turn heel, because it felt like in this match that he was a heel. Like, great stuff. Oh man, EC3's heel work was what really pulled me back into TNA at the time, because I kind of stopped watching it, barely watched WWE or anything, and then when I saw, just randomly one day, just popped back on a wrestling show, and EC3 was killing it, doing his thing, and ever since then I've kind of watched Impact more. But and then when he turned face, I was like, okay, but hopefully he does turn back heel. I think that's a lot of people's thoughts on this. His face work is pretty good, but him as a heel, you cannot get no better. So we get another Make Impact Great thing from Madison Rayne. We come back and it's a fatal five-way between Suicide's back, and that video they had earlier in the day on YouTube, that Suicide package promo thing they did was pretty fucking awesome. I gotta say, Impact, since they hired back Kevin Sullivan, have really upped the production, and I fucking love it, and I'm glad. It's been way better. So this match with Suicide, Sutter, Everett, and Trevor Lee, so it's a four-way. Damn, it was a spot fest, and it was the last match on the show. And at first, I said, why was not the Patron EC3 match main event? This match was good. Not main event worthy, but it was a good X Division match. But when Sutter freaking grabs not DJZ, Trevor Lee, and he throws him in. It was like a power bomb, but then Trevor Lee catches Suicide, and Suicide has Andrew Everett in there, so it was a power bomb, German suplex, superplex off the top rope. Was freaking great. Oh my god, that was awesome. So Sutter then drops out of the ring, and there is Laurel Van Ness still in her wedding dress, which she's playing this character great. A drunken, it's fucking great. But she's out there eating a piece of cake, and she distracts Sutter. Sutter gets back in the ring, and it's a 3 count for Trevor Lee, and he retains his title. Like I said, it was a solid match. Great to see Suicide back. Some of the things he did, like when he freaking, I don't even know. Some of the crap he did was awesome. Like, I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. The suicide dive thing where he just kind of Trespass back was pretty cool. It's just great to see him back. I think a lot of people know who he is already from all the spoilers and shit. And then I read something earlier that it's Caleb Conley. He played it pretty well. Not to the Daniels and TJP, thing, but it was pretty good. I liked Pope's commentary in this. I was like, I thought I got rid of Suicide 8 years ago. And oh man, yeah, that was some good matches with him and Suicide. But good match. Good thing. So they have, earlier in the show, they had a sit-down round table to discuss what's going to happen with the tag team championships. And then they come out, here comes Bruce Pritchard to discuss, what's really going on. Yada, yada, yada. And here comes the Decay. They said they rescued the titles from space and time, and they deserve them. Give them the titles. Then here comes Oi, that whole thing with the Reno Scum. They're alright. This promo was okay from them. I don't know. I just need to see more Reno Scum before I really say that they're awesome or they're not awesome. Then here comes the Crash guys, Garza and Laredo Kid. Once Laredo Kid and Garza get in the ring, Garza basically says, they beat DCC. Not them. They didn't beat DCC. Wow. They're just here basically for the titles, and then boom, Decay takes everybody out. So Decay's standing there. Oh, well, the Josh Man is like, well, Decay become the next champions, and then boom, the music hits. The fucking crowd immediately knew who it was. Like, holy shit. Dude, here comes Conan and throws the bald-headed guy from the Reno Scum into the steps. Comes in with a chair. Homicide with a Gringo Killer, which I don't mind that, just nasty. Every time you cringe with that move. And then here comes these two new guys and the chick. And they come out beating ass, dude. Oh my god, they come up and this dude launches himself into the DC's, not DC. Wow, why am I throwing these guys in there that are not in there? Which is Crazy Steven, Abyss. They came in, cleared the ring. Conan gets on the mic and says they're serious like a late period, and that just tied the whole thing in for me. That was funny. But that ending, man, wow. Like they said they were coming back, but I didn't expect them to have that big of an impact. Well, god damn it, hits the name Impact. But I gotta say, way better show than last week. Last week I had a lot of corny promos in there. This week, not so much. This week, and they backed off of the shit on commentary where they were bickering back and forth in the match. They really did that like once or twice. Last week it was every damn match. This week they kind of waited until after the match, which I thought that was nice. It was not bad commentary between the three at all. So as long as they continue to do that, this 3-man booth is going to go well. Last week really didn't talk about this much, but Rockstar Spud is now the ring announcer. Still don't know how I feel about that yet after 2 weeks. Why? I don't know. I guess we'll find out later on. But I gotta say, like I said, the one big gripe for me was why Eli Drake losing. He just keeps losing. But way better show. Loved it. EC3 versus Patron. Patron was amazing. Let me know what you thought was good and what you thought was bad down in the comments below. And I am out. Thank you so much for watching.